Hello, I'm Nathaniel Smith. Sorry if my room seems all dark and shadowy, but I just feel like doing this for no reason. Anyways, it's just something I wanted to talk about really quickly, and that's not how I read as much as what I read. I want to mention this because I noticed because my channel's so small and unnoticed. Not that I have much of an issue with that. But I've kind of figured out why, and the reason's so simple. It's kind of sad though. I don't read a lot of YA. Now that doesn't mean I haven't read any. I've read a bit here and there. I've even read The Book Thief, and I liked The Book Thief. I thought it was pretty good. Though I don't really think of it as a YA novel or as a children's novel. I think of it as an adult novel with a child protagonist, if that makes any sense. That's the way I view The Book Thief, because it deals with the mature theme of war and stuff, and yeah. But still, it's a good book. And anyways, losing track here. What I read is all sorts of stuff, you know? The more I've read over the years, the more I've read different genres. And not because of anything in BookTube, it's just how I've grown as a reader of books. For example, right now, I'm reading a short story collection of science fiction that's over 1,000 pages, over hundreds of different authors in so many different periods of time. And the book was published in 1989, so that's something I never would have read earlier, but it's because I've sort of grown to read a bit more into short stories, and I think that's because of I just gotten into it a bit more. Just like I've dabbled into a bit of reading a little bit of horror here and there. Not as much as I probably need to or want to. Well, depends, I guess, on how good the horror story is. But anyways, the point is, I haven't even meant... The point is, I'm reading right now a format that I don't read as often as I should. And I've dabbled in other genres that I don't much care about. Not only YA, but I've read some short story drama pieces. I've read quite a few from this one author, I forget his name. It was fine, just not my cup of tea, but I did read a good chunk of some of the short stories that I still have with me in my book collection, as it were. I've read a memoir at one point. I've read, sci-fi, fantasy, children's books, adult books, dramas on occasion. Just a number of different things. And the reason I bring this up is because most of BookTube doesn't do that. Most of BookTube reads more YA, and then occasionally we'll read something else. Yeah, that's something I don't actually do. I will admit I probably read a little more science fiction and fantasy than anything else, because, that's some of my favorite stuff. But even then, I don't always read the same type of science fiction and the same type of genre, because in the short story collection alone, I've read a couple of sci-fi dabblings, but was mostly really a drama, a couple of dystopians. Well, one was sort of like an after dystopian, if that makes any sense, and other such things. The point is, you should try and read all sorts of different stuff, even stuff you don't really care for. You should at least try to read it. And if after giving it a good shot, giving up on it, fair enough, but at least give a shot. All I'm stressing here is not that I'm trying to be a braggart or anything. I'm just trying to stress that as much as myself and as much as many of you who claim to be readers of books, maybe we should read different stuff. Maybe we shouldn't just read the same sort of thing, the same type of genre, all the frickin' time. One thing I should mention is, of the books I've read, I've dabbled in, historical books and modern day present books, and other such things that were successful. I mean, I even tried to read Crime and Punishment, I think it was called. Um, I gave up after a while on that one, I admit, but I did try a few hundred pages of that. And I even tried War and Peace. Okay, but that one I didn't really go through it entirely, but I gave it a shot, and at least sort of got some of the gist of it. So, yeah, you should at least try to read past what you like, and, read different stuff, because, like, when I was a teenager, I didn't care for Edgar Allan Poe as much as I do now, where I really, really, really like his writings. Not all of it, there's some problems here and there. But still, most of it's really good, especially a lot of his poetry. It's really, really fun to read that. Now, that's another thing that's another thing I've actually read a bit of. I've actually read epic poems. Yeah, I like epic poetry more than modern poetry. I'm sorry. It's just, I don't know. Modern poetry, just a lot of it's... There's some interesting stuff in there if you can find it, but a lot of it's... I don't know. It's like one of those paintings where they just sort of like throw a mess of colors on a canvas and says that's art, and you're trying to comprehend why. Anyways, sorry, I got distracted. I'll just end the video now and say we should all, including myself, should read more than just the stuff that we like. We should at least attempt, to try different things. Because you never know. You might find something you really like and enjoy, and you would have never expected to like it. So, yeah. Later.